Hello again, and welcome back to All the Dice. It's so good to have you here. Last time, in our D&D for Beginners series, we talked about the what of the game. Well, today, we're diving into the where. And let me tell you, the incredible, sprawling, and sometimes totally surprising worlds where your adventures take place are one of the best parts. So let's just start with that big question right there. When you sit down to play D&D, you are stepping into a whole other reality. But what does that world even look like? Is it, a kingdom, a continent, a whole planet? The answer is actually both way simpler and infinitely more exciting than you might think. To really get our heads around the where, we're going to start with a foundation that I promise you already know, even if you have never, ever picked up a die in your entire life. Okay, so at its absolute core, Dungeons & Dragons is built on this bedrock of medieval fantasy. You know what I'm talking about. A world just brimming with magic, where daring heroes clash swords with fearsome monsters in some forgotten ruins, and ancient secrets are just waiting to be dug up. It's the classic stuff of legends. And all the key ingredients are probably super familiar to you already. We're talking epic heroes heading out on grand quests, right? Dragons guarding glittering piles of treasure, wizards slinging powerful spells. This is the shared language of D&D, and the fact that you already get these basics means you are way more than halfway there. But this is just the beginning. Because the stage for these amazing stories isn't just one little kingdom, or one continent, or even a single planet. The truth is, the map is bigger than you could possibly imagine. So it is time to zoom way out and introduce one of the coolest, most mind-bending concepts in the whole game, the multiverse. So here's the big idea. Every D&D world, every single adventure you could ever play, exists inside this massive cosmic web we call the multiverse. It's like an infinite collection of different realities, all connected in strange and mysterious ways. The best way to picture it is to think of a giant magical library. And on the shelves of this incredible library, every single book isn't just a story. It's an entire world, a complete reality that you can literally step into and explore. So let's take a quick look around this library, shall we? Most of your adventures are going to start on what's called the material plane. Think of that as the main shelf, where the worlds feel most familiar to us. But then you've got these magical reflections of those worlds, like the bright and chaotic Feywild, or the dark and spooky Shadowfell. And then beyond even those are the outer planes, entire realms made of pure belief, where concepts like good, evil, law, and chaos are actual physical landscapes you can walk through. Wild, right? Now, the really wonderful thing is, you don't have to write one of these books from scratch if you don't want to. There are hundreds of incredible pre-written worlds on the library shelves, just waiting for you to pull them down and open them up. So let's take a quick tour of some of the most famous ones. First up is maybe the most famous book in the whole library, The Forgotten Realms. This is D&D in its most classic, quintessential form. If you're picturing elves in ancient forests, dwarves in grand mountain halls, and big cities just crackling with magic and intrigue, yeah, you're imagining The Forgotten Realms. But hey, maybe you want something a little different. Let's pull another book off the shelf. Eberron. This is not your classic medieval fantasy. Oh no. Here you've got magical lightning-powered trains, sentient robot-like creatures built for a war that just ended, and cities where detective stories unfold on rain-slicked streets. It's this fantastic mix of high fantasy, pulp action, and noir mystery. Or how about Dragonlance? This is a world that's defined by its history, by one single epic conflict that shaped absolutely everything. Playing here feels like stepping right into a grand fantasy novel, where the echoes of a massive war are everywhere, and your characters have the chance to become the next legendary heroes of a brand new age. And just to show you how varied these worlds can be, you've got stuff like Dark Sun. This setting takes all those familiar fantasy ideas we know and just twists them. In this brutal, dying desert world, elves aren't these mystical forest dwellers. They're hardened desert nomads. And those sweet, friendly halflings? Yeah, here they're ferocious, jungle-dwelling cannibals. It just goes to show you, the possibilities are truly endless. But here it is. Here is the most incredible secret in this entire library. All of these official worlds, all these amazing published books, they are just a tiny, tiny fraction of what's actually on the shelves. The vast majority of worlds in the D&D multiverse were created by players and dungeon masters, people just like you, at their own kitchen tables. And that brings us to the most magical idea of all. You are not just a visitor to this cosmic library. You have a library card. And you're not just allowed to check books out, you are encouraged, expected even, to write your own and put them right there on the shelves for everyone else. You know, the game's creators really said it best. All these worlds, all these rules, all these ideas, they're just ink on a page. As the quote says, they are totally lifeless until you, the player, the dungeon master, give them that spark of life, that spark of imagination. You are the magic ingredient. And that is the heart of everything. D&D isn't just a game you play, it is a creative tool. It's your own personal corner of the multiverse where you have the absolute freedom to create, to explore, and to tell the stories that you want to tell. You are completely in control. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget everything you've ever been told a fantasy world should be. With an infinite cosmos right at your fingertips, what kind of world will you imagine? What story are you just waiting to tell? And that's our look at the incredible settings of D&D. If this sparked your imagination, please subscribe to All the Dice for more of our beginner guides. Liking the video really helps us out, and I would absolutely love to read about the worlds you're dreaming up, so please share your ideas in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.